What's up, metalhead? It is I, Eric, your old school metalhead. Yes, we're going to react to this band right here who made an appearance on the Jimmy Kimmel show a few weeks ago and I guess pissed off a lot of grandmas and I guess some teens. We're going to check out their performance. Knocked Loose is the name of the band. And we're going to check out their performance for the first time, for me, for the first time, right after this.
Welcome to the Metal Block. Guest interviews, top 10s, top 20s, album reviews, and more. Now here is your host, Eric.
Yeah. Now I say old school because I'm 56 years old. Okay. My time in music, listening to music, discovering heavy metal was in the 80s. I'm a teenager in 1984. I'm 16 years old. You got to remember there was bands like Twisted Sister, Motley Crue, Rat, Ozzy Osbourne, all the which they now call hair metal, which I don't really care for that term because back then, if you were glam and you were metal, we called you glam metal. If you were fast and heavy and wore jeans and a t-shirt, you were thrash metal, and then you were death metal, and then or you were shock rock, like Wasp, the band I'm wearing right now. That was like probably my third concert I've ever gone to. Back then, I saw them in '84, and I just got to see them a couple months ago, in October actually. Yeah, so that's my era of music, metal. And there was a time when the PMRC tried to the Satanic Panic and all that stuff was going on. The PMRC, which was like this Mothers Against, I guess, heavy metal music and other shit, was Tipper Gore's wife. No, Tipper Gore was the wife of Al Gore at the time as a senator. And yeah, so she put together this coalition of angry moms who tried to shut down heavy metal and tried to ban it, and also rap, because at the time there was Two Live Crew. They were kind of considered one of the most raunchiest and most X-rated like rap artists. Like all their songs are about just like sex and women, and so they were lumped into it. I think it might have been NWA, and I think they might have come out a little bit after, like gangster rap and stuff. But anyway, so Dee Snider went to the Washington D.C. I'm sure a lot of you heard the story. Dee Snider and Frank Zappa and even John Denver himself went to Washington D.C. and sat amongst all the congressmen and senators and tried to make their case as to why heavy metal isn't satanic, why it's not about sexual perversion, and that a lot of that is just them reading too much into like the lyrics. As a matter of fact, Dee Snider has a song called Under the Blade. The name of their album is Under the Blade. And Tipper Gore was trying to make it sound like it's about sadomasochism and all this other stuff. And so Dee Snider just like told her, he's like, lady, you must be fantasizing about that stuff, because if that's what you get out of those lyrics, then you're the one with the dirty mind. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but really that song is about his guitar player having surgery, and he had to go under the blade. As simple as that, But lyrics are meant to be interpreted. So anyway, so then fast forward, they came to a conclusion of not banning the music, but they put warning stickers on it. So in other words, you had to be 18 or you had to have parents' permission to buy the music. So they would put these parental stickers on it, which you might see nowadays on records. All that did was a thank you. That was actually a gift from them, even though it was an unwelcome gift by them. They didn't expect the backlash that was going to happen. All that did was make the record sell even more, because you're a kid, you're going through puberty, and you see that sticker, you're going to find a way to get that record. Yeah, so that happened. So fast forward, I've been hearing a lot about this band Knocked Loose. I know I'm a little late on this. I'm sure there's other reaction videos out there on this that came out. I just didn't get a chance to get around to doing it or watching it. I kept putting it off. I know it was out there, and I've been seeing it on YouTube, and I'll skip over it and everything because I didn't want to see it yet, because I planned to do this reaction video, but life got in the way, and so I'm finally getting to do it. So this is gonna be my first time listening to these guys. I understand Poppy made a performance. I have heard a little bit of her. Came across her on YouTube. Now, I'm old school metal and this and that, but doesn't mean I don't like new stuff. The thing about new stuff is like nowadays it's kind of hard to it's getting hard to tell like AI from the real shit. That's kind of scaring me a little bit, because I'll come across some good sounding newer bands that I think is kick ass, and then all of a sudden you read the description, oh, this is all AI generated. I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. I had a kid, man. He was that I play guitar, and I write and produce music. I do it the old school way. Anyway, had this kid tell me, yeah, why do you even play guitar? Why do you even play guitar. You don't have to play guitar anymore. You can just program it onto the computer. And I just wanted to beat his ass, but he was underage, so I couldn't do that. You motherfucker, you know what it's like? You don't know the thrill and the love of actually the organic feeling you get when you write a song on a guitar or on a keyboard or like an actual instrument, as opposed to just pushing buttons and cutting and pasting already made samples and sound. Now, that's cool if you want to put that into your music, but just have some kind of real shit in there. I don't mind AI music if the person is transparent about it. I just don't like seeing stuff out there and then people thinking it's real, and then a person that put it out there is claiming that it's really them when it's not. But fast forward, but then there's like a lot of new bands, like a lot of different new genres of music. Obviously we had new metal in the 2000s and the mid 90s and stuff. I like a lot of those bands too, but like I said, I've always listened to my classics, my Iron Maidens, my Scorpions, my all my death and thrash metal, that type of shit. I was in the Bathory before black metal was even black metal. In 1984, Bathory came out. Celtic Frost for those purists out there. Also, Sodom, Destruction from Germany. Yeah, bands like that. So those are like my era bands. So now this whole thing about metalcore, I always kind of joke about it. Like it's a metalcore band when their name of the band is like a sentence, like it's like a lyric title or something, like As I Lay Dying or something. Like I always say, yeah, help, I've fallen and I can't get up. That's like a band that's going to go on tour with As I Lay Dying. Anyway, but yeah, and it's not that I don't like metalcore. It's not that I'm like some old guy, oh, he's just frowning upon the new stuff, the new generation. No, it's just I just haven't heard nothing I really like. Again, it's just, and I don't spend a lot of time trying to search for it. I just, if I come across it and I dig it, I'm going to like it. And there has been some bands, I just can't think of their name at the moment, that I really liked. And, so when I come across them on YouTube, I'll jam out. I just haven't really bought any actual music by them. So from what I've been hearing about this Knocked Loose, it sounds like they pissed off a lot of people. And that's what I liked it. I like that aspect. I like the fact that that's what we need in rock and metal again, is that we need that controversy, like what happened back in the PMRC days and Satanic Panic days. There's a lot of extreme metal bands out there right now, especially like the really hardcore extreme. I mean, if the bands are out now, like the black metal bands, or like a band like Watain, or Gorgoroth, or any of those bands, if they were around in the 80s, I mean, that shit would have been shut down. But I mean, the government would have probably sent the National Guard or the Army into every record store, if we were like that extreme back then. But just those bands aren't making any headway. Like, it's the youth is what's out there. It's actually bands with like Knocked Loose and these other prominent metalcore. Who's that one band? I can't remember. I can't get the name of the man. The name of the band is escaping me. But the singer's like really angry. I guess he wrestles a bear or some shit. I was coming across this video, but he's like considered one of the most craziest frontmen right now. And I've been watching some clips of his. I mean, he's fucking badass. I mean, the faces that he makes on stage, and like, apparently he wrestled some bear or something. Like, watch the video. If you guys know, if you can remind me, put it in the comments, because I like to do a reaction video to those guys and maybe check out their music. I heard a little bit of it. It sounds pretty cool. My problem is like a lot of it is just like, and then it's just like really low tuning and it's kind of processed sounding. I like raw heaviness, but I like raw. And I also like I said, I like what I like. Look, I'm a musician, and it's hard for a musician to actually think of genres of music. Where for me, it is anyway. It's either good or it's bad. I don't care if it's metalcore, classic metal, hair metal, whatever. When I listen to a song, I'm either listening to it and it's good or it's bad. If I listen to it, I'm critiquing it. I'm at work. I'm actually writing the music. I'm producing in my head and all this stuff. But if I'm listening to it as a fan, then I want to break it down and I want to listen to it and just enjoy it. And sometimes it's hard though, because when I'm listening to music, I'm constantly like breaking down the instruments. I'm seeing everything in 3D and surround sound, and I'm hearing everything in surround sound. I'm hearing colors, seeing colors, and so I figure out, oh, what do we do on guitar? I wonder what I'll pick up my guitar and I'll try to figure out little parts of it. That's just the disease I have in my head or in my system. So a band like Knocked Loose comes along and they're pissing off these grandparents or parents of the Jimmy Kimmel show, and they're calling for the show to apologize. They're calling for Jimmy Kimmel to apologize. So this is gonna be my first time seeing this. I want to see what the controversy is about, then we'll talk about it afterwards. Knocked Loose is a new band. This is a kind of a picture of, I wouldn't say they're new, but they've been around for about, from what I understand, about 15, 20 years, maybe. Maybe less. I don't know. I have to look at their Wikipedia. Yeah, they look like nice young lads, right? Yeah, so let's check them out right now. Okay, here's a Knocked Loose on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Their album is called You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to. Here with the Grammy-nominated song Suffocate with help from Poppy, Knocked Loose. Suffocate.
I'm liking that so far. Whoa. Yeah, pause real quick. Some of the stuff I was seeing in the news about this, because they, made a lot of headlines and shit. I mean, these guys, this video did it for them if they weren't really popular already. But yeah, one of the big complaints was there's a mosh pit. Oh my god, everyone's getting hurt. Shut up. So far, I'm liking what I'm hearing. I love the low tune. Obviously, it's a 7-string or 8-string guitar, probably. Like tuned down a low beat, and yeah, and it's heavy. The vocals are, it's that scream kind of vocals, which, they kind of remind me. I've been getting into a band. I've been getting into this label. I'm going to hold on real quick. I'll be with you guys here in a second. Let me do this real quick. So this band right here called Venus Twins, and they're part of like this 13G Records. Squid Pisser, Cancer Christ. I've been getting a lot of them in there. So their vocals kind of remind me of that a little bit, except for the music's not as crazy and hardcore sounding. Anyway, here we go. Sorry about that. Oh, here comes Poppy. Real quick, I can see if you're a parent, like you're just picturing like these are your kids coming down, like go to your room.
Connection. I love the separation.
I like that. The bass show and everything. But yeah. It's raining, huh? All right. Yeah. Now that's what I'm talking about. See, that's what we need. We need the danger to be put back in rock and metal to where it scares people. And from what I was reading some of the comments that, and this just blew me away, man, when I read this. Okay. And tell me if I'm wrong. Let's see here. I'm going to pull it up. So like a mom, I guess, wrote to Jimmy Kimmel or whatever. And her response was, I was trying to enjoy the program. I was sitting on the couch with my son, who is an adolescent. She puts in big letters, adolescent. What does that mean, adolescent? A teenager or I don't know, a toddler is a baby. Anyway, waiting to see the musical guest because we like the nice music the show usually books. Woo! By the third or fourth junt, she puts in quotes, J-U-N-T, whatever that is, from the guitars, my son was in tears. Her son was in tears. What? He doesn't like scary things. And quite frankly, I think the Kimmel Show and its staff should make a formal apology. Oh my God. Apology for that? Holy shit. And I bet that same kid's probably out there worshiping that dude that shot that CEO and shit. All right. Oh, he's a hero. But man, let's break that down a little bit. I mean, come on. For one, this music is supposed to scare off the parents. It's supposed to scare off the grandparents. It's supposed to scare off the teachers and the principal and all. We're adolescent. The youth is supposed to be like, fuck yeah, we're taking over, And this is our music. And we're scaring the fuck out of you. That's what metal and rock is about. And that's what these kids are doing right here, man. But to scare the kid, to scare the teenager, so that tells me the way that mom is raising that kid, that's her fucking fault, man. You should be ashamed of yourself if you're watching this, mother of that child, of that adolescent. You should be fucking ashamed of yourself. Stop sheltering your kid, putting them in a bubble. So we hear a lot about like the old school guys, old guys, like guys my age and older. All these young bands, they don't know what it's like to live in their car and move to Hollywood and struggle and pay your dues before you get a record deal and blow up. And I think these guys are nominated for a Grammy for this song. And get a Grammy and all this stuff like that. But then again, if you look at it like, well, they don't really have to anymore because, and I'm one of those guys that had to do that. My band Will-O-Wisp, we moved in 1990 to LA from a little small town in California, Atwater, California. And we lived in our car. We fucking ate ramen we ate food off the streets basically, and panhandled, and just did everything we could, and just struggled, until we got a small record deal, which was like a $10,000 grant or not grant, but advance or whatever. And we did a CD back in 1999 that sold about 4,000 copies worldwide. Didn't win any Grammys or nothing, but we put in that hard work, and we never did get that big break like we should have. But then again, we had a lot of things against us, no management, no nothing. We're doing everything ourselves, plus drama and all that shit like that. But I think kids these days who kind of have everything kind of more easier, in other words, like, they have the technology to be able to sit in a room and just create all this stuff. They have, maybe they have a good life at home at parents or whatever, but then they also probably have their problems that they're dealing with. Us guys in the 80s and stuff like that, yeah, we put all of our problems, like, dealing with the teachers and the parents on our case all the time and all the other bullshit that goes on in life. We were angry and we were putting that into the music. And then, then we want that record deal. So we go and schlub it out to be able to get that. Whereas the kids today, they don't have that, in other words, but what they got is all that anger and stuff. So they're putting it into the music. They just have a better, simpler way of putting it out there. And you can't hate them for that. It's just where we're at today. You can't, I mean, why would you have to do, like, in other words, if I'm going to start a band now, I don't have to go to LA anymore to try to look for a record deal and live in my car and stuff. No, I just produce the music, and I do that. I produce my own music now at home, and I put some stuff out on Spotify and iTunes. I don't need a record label. Am I going to make tons of money off it? Probably not. But a lot of bands are like, a lot of these kids like Knocked Loose, I'm sure they started out kind of, struggling a little bit, playing some clubs, local shows. And then they probably got signed to one of these like smaller labels, like 3G Records I was talking about. And then they probably just got onto a bigger label after that, and then went from there. And the exposure, I mean, obviously you got TikTok, you got the internet and everything. It's you got all this stuff that's like they're just taking and using to their advantage. And then like I said, with the music genres always changing and things like that, it's understandable that that they wouldn't like have to struggle like the way we struggled in the 80s and the 90s and stuff like that. Because, and then like I said, there was really all the big major record labels that used to pay out those big advances don't do that no more. Well, they kind of, some of them do, but it's not like it used to be, not like back in the old days. But yeah, I'm really liking this band. You know what? I'm going to do something here. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on. I like what I heard there. I like that kind of vocal. It's different. I mean, I'm not really into like the emo, screamo type of those kind of bands that do that kind of where like when they kind of, you know, if you do black metal, yeah, you're like you know, you got. Well, I'm not gonna do it here because my neighbors and shit, but yeah, there's a certain way of doing black metal vocals and death metal vocals. But a lot of these newer, like kind of screamo bands, like they kind of they do kind of a thing with their lips or something, which kind of sounds weird to me. It sounds like it's rehearsed, or it sounds like it was like taught by a YouTuber or something like that. I don't know. Like they found a tutorial on how to sing that way, and that's what they're doing. So they all kind of sound the same. Whereas this guy or kid or whatever how old he is, I mean, they look young. Could be in their 30s, maybe, who knows. But yeah, he's just screaming like fucking like, oh my god. Like I said, it sounded like, you know, when she came out and did the same thing. I was wondering, that's probably why parents were like thinking like, oh my god, it's like my kids just yelling at me. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go on Amazon. All right, we'll be done here in a second. I'm gonna share the screen here. Stay with me. Stay with me there. Can you see that? All right. So we're going to look up Knocked Loose. Knocked Loose on vinyl. And I'm going to buy, if they have it on vinyl, hopefully they got a vinyl. Oh, yeah, they do. It's $25. Okay. There it is. So I'm going to put that in my cart and I'm going to buy it. You know, when I review it and I've come across new bands, if I like it enough, I'm going to search for their vinyl. I'm going to give the whole record a listen. So I might even do a little like follow after I'm done taping here. I might do a little follow-up video when I get the thing in, because I'm not going to post this right away. So I'll probably do like a little sort of, I'll add it in at the end of the video, like, hey, I got the record, check it out. You know. So yeah, so I'm going to order that and kick ass. Oh yeah, here's another thing I saw a fan was saying. Let me see here. I just want to go over this. So another fan, not a fan, a person is anti-fan, a fan of Kimmel, but not a fan of the band. What's with all the screaming and spewing gibberish in the name of music? There's absolutely nothing appealing about this genre of music. Also, the crowd responding to this crazy woke musical genre all need to visit shrinks. Woke? What are you talking about? They can't be very woke if they're offending like a lot of people. You know, I thought the opposite of woke is, or I thought woke meant like you're not offending people and not trying to get canceled. So one thing I'm glad that, and I don't know, maybe you guys can let me know if he did ever, but I watch Kimmel every night. Like you know, I watch his monologue on YouTube every night, and I haven't heard him make an actual apology about this. I'm hoping that he doesn't, because I would just like, fuck you, Kim. I'll probably never watch him again if he actually just, you know, if the studio did it, like if ABC did it, then okay, I could see them, because you know they're the fucking money guys and shit like that. They gotta cover their asses. But I don't think they should apologize. There's no reason to apologize. This is what music should be doing. As you can see, my posters in the background, that shows you how old school I am. But I do, like I said, I love a lot of new shit, like Squid Pisser and Cancer Cries, all those like younger sort of hardcore bands. And then, you know, I like a lot of like new releases. I'm buying new releases all the time. So, matter of fact, I'm doing my top 20 new releases of 2024 metal records. I'm going to be taping that next week, and that's going to be the end of the year. All of my records, I have about 50 to go through of new releases. There was a lot of good shit this year, and so I'm going to put my top 20. I'm going to name all of those, rank them all down. And if this Knocked Loose, if I get this in time and I jam it, Knocked Loose might make that list. So we'll see. If anything, it's going to be definitely an honorable mention. I'm going to keep my eye on these kids. Like I said, I like the fact that they just, you know, they let you have it. I mean, and I love the fire effects. So you don't really see that ever on the Kimmel show. Like you don't really ever see special effects like that. So I thought that was cool that they were able to do that. And yeah, good on them, man. Good on them. I mean, that's exactly, like I said, that's what we need. We need that. Hopefully more bands do this, and maybe look at that one guy that wrestles the bear on Jimmy Kimmel eventually. He'll definitely piss a lot of people off. And man, if it's pissing off your grandma, and I guess apparently your teenagers, and then you know you're doing something right? But that mom or whoever, man, she's not doing it right. I don't mean to berate her anymore, but you know, I don't know her name, I don't know her as a person, but you know, maybe they're just a nice Christian family or something like that, and maybe that's what she meant. So anyway, so yeah, so thank you for joining me on this. That was great. I'm a fan now of Knocked Loose. Like I said, it was my first time actually listening to their music. Looking forward to checking out the full album. And when I get it in, I'll post a little maybe I'll add it to the end of this video. Maybe I'll wait to post this video, and then I think I'll probably get it in like 3 days or something like that. Probably get it. I know. Yeah. So we'll probably get it in a couple of days, and then so then we'll do that. All right. Be kind to yourselves. The holidays are coming up. We got a little bit to go, but the holidays are coming up. And just all you can do is be kind to each other. Just enjoy each other. Look forward to 2025. You don't have the power to change your past, but you do have the power to change your future. What are you going to do today to change your future? That's one thing you should be asking yourself going into 2025. You don't have that power to change your past, but you do have the power to change your future by what you do today. All right. So be kind to yourself, be kind to others. If you're not good to yourself, you're no good to anyone else. Horns up and peace out. Yeah. What's up, metalheads? And Knocked Loose fans out there. Hey, yeah. So remember on my last video a few days ago, I did the reaction to Knocked Loose. It was on the Jimmy Kimmel show. They did the song Suffocate. Made me a fan, made me go on, as you saw, I went on Amazon and put it in my cart. I realized after I stopped recording that it was out of stock. So I had to go to my record store downtown Portland. I'm in Portland, Oregon. 2nd Avenue Records. If you're in Portland area, go to 2nd Avenue Records. And I was able to pick up a copy of Knocked Loose's album, which I guess is called You Don't Know You're Going. Let me see. You won't go before you're supposed to. Very positive outlook there. You won't go until you're supposed to. They're saying, look, I got the vinyl here, and I got, looks like it's the Aqua something. Yeah, look at that. It's nice, huh? Okay, cool. I haven't listened to it yet. I just got back not too long ago. So yeah, I've got this. I'm going to jam it. I'm going to play it in full and see what they're all about. I really like what I heard on the Jimmy Kimmel show. And maybe I'll do a full album review down the road sometime. All right, so horns up and peace out. Knocked Loose. Yeah.